Hi friends, this is regarding a trend line, and we are speaking on the series of breakout trading. As we have already discussed a few topics which are important for breakout trading in the previous video. I hope you have definitely seen the previous one also. This is just continuation of the previous video, or else I can say that this is continuation of the important topic what is required for breakout trading. Okay, so as we have already discussed in the previous video, you can see that we said that there is an institutional investors who has big money and information given, and they give the direction to the market, and we have retail traders who participate in the market. And what is a false breakout, and similarly for breakout trade, what are important, as we have discussed, 3 points are very important. One is trend line, and the second one is identification of a real breakout, and the trade execution. In that, the first important point, trend line, we are going to discuss today. Where there is in the case of a trend line, it is a straight line drawn on a chart by connecting two or more price peaks. As you can see here in the picture also, it is given where it is marked using 3 arrows, where we are trying to mark a trend line, where in all the three points it is just trying to touch that trend line. The price peak is trying to touch the trend line. This is a support level trend line, where we are trying to draw a trend line. You can clearly see that it is touching that trend line 3 times, 1 2 3 times, and once it break, it gives a big move on after breaking a support, right? And similarly, we can call this as this particular trend line as support trend line. And similarly, how to do our resistance trend line, here is an example. You can see that we are trying to draw a resistance trend line, that is here also just to draw a trend line where 1 2 3 times it is trying to touch that particular trend line. You can clearly see there, and see here, a powerful trend line is when it connects a more number of peaks. See, it is not necessary, there is no hard rule and regulation that how many number of times the trend line, the price peaks should touch the trend line. A powerful trend line can be any number of times. It means the more the number of times the peaks touching its trend line, the more powerful trend line will be. And when it decisively break the trend line, it gives a big move on the opposite side, as you have seen in the previous 2 slides, that whenever it crosses the trend line after touching 3 or 4 points or 4 price peaks, when it try to cross, definitely it gives a very big move on the opposite side. And similarly, what really matters when you try to draw a trend line is, see, it will be always suggested, it will be better that if the trend line is less than 45 degree of angle, it is a safer bet, since it is a healthy trend line. See, the more steep trend line you go, which is created from the quick move, is unlikely to offer a strong support or resistance level, which we can understand in the next picture. See here, in this particular case, this is not a healthy trend line, since the more steeper the trend line, which is not healthy, it means which is not working a good support or resistance, and it may not work as per your expectation, and it is not following a good price action also. So it's not a healthy trend line. So it is better to have a trend line where the angle, that is 45 degree, which is less than 45 degree, will be the safer bet in the case of a trend line. And how to decide a genuine breakout. See guys, today we have seen that how to draw a proper trend line. You try to touch the price peaks as much as possible, and see to that it always respect near that particular trend line, and also see to that it should not break the trend line and spend more time above trend line for quite a few movement and then come back and draw trend line once again. It will never work like that. You should see to that once you draw the trend line, the price peak touch the trend line and it come back again, touch the trend line and it come back once again, and whenever it break the proper resistance or support, it should take one decisive move, then move that we can call it as a breakout actually. And what is the proper breakout, that we are going to see in the next video, and we'll see how exactly to decide what we mean by general that is genuine breakout. In the next video we are going to discuss. See, we have seen some of the topics in the previous video, and today we have seen how to draw a trend line. And see, and once again I want to say that there is no hard and harsh rule that this is the way you should draw a trend line. There is no proper argument on that, but still it is very easy once you train yourself for some 3 to 4 months. Definitely you can easily identify what is the trend line, and trend line will definitely help you to identify whether the trend is uptrend, downtrend, whether it is a sideways. You can easily identify. So trend line is one of the very important concept you need to understand. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.